Hey guys, is this thing on? Hello, hello, hello. Is there anybody on here? I'm gonna try and do a little bit of painting tonight, I thought, but I need to get my glasses cleaned off. They were absolutely filthy. I don't think I could actually see through them. Is there anybody in there? Let's see. DW Low. Hello, DW. Hello, Ptolemachus. I think Ptolemachus is over there in Pennsylvania. If I remember right, not in Greece as formerly thought. So I don't know how many of you joined in with Marty Devine's call this. No, I guess it was this month. I don't really remember exactly when it was. Can you guys hear me okay? I'm going to try and use my phone tonight to see if I can see the chat because, man, I tell you what, my tablet, doesn't get the chat very good. It doesn't update with the chat. So I'm hoping I can see the chat a little bit better on this. Hello, hello. Well, it already seems to be working a little bit better. Hey, Marty. Hey, Eric. Alan Shanks in Australia. Man named Marino in California. Ptolemachus. David Lowe. Thank you guys so much. Michael is on here. Hola, Michael. Hola. Yeah, that's working a lot better. Wonder if there's someplace I can put this that it won't fall over. I don't know. Maybe I need one of them cool, like, cell phone holders or something. So we will officially go live in about 2 minutes. How many of you joined in on Marty Devine's call, his Zoom meeting when we got together and did a little bit of painting together? Pretty sure Manny was on there. So that was a lot of fun. Marty says that was 2 Saturdays ago. That was a lot of fun kind of getting together and just kind of very low key, nothing, no big subjects to go over or anything like that. Just sitting and chatting and doing a little bit of painting. So I'm going to show you some of the vehicles that I've been working on. We still have 1 minute until we go officially live. I'm going to show you some of the vehicles that I've been working on and then also talk about them a little bit. And I'll also ask you guys for some ideas or things like that. It was fun just hanging out, Manny says. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Bad internet here, so I don't bother getting a camera, so I missed the e-meet. Yeah. Yeah. You know, Ptolemachus, you could... I don't think you need a camera. You could, if you wanted to, and it's just sitting and listening to a bunch of folks jibber jabber about painting and other silliness. But you could certainly join the call and just listen in without. You don't have to have a camera. We don't have to see you. So don't feel like you have to have a camera. Bessie Webb is on here, and that must mean it is 8 o'clock. Hey everybody, this is Dave here at Pulp Alley, and tonight I'm flying solo. My dear Bessie Webb is over in Tahlequah. She has a very early morning meeting over there with the Cherokees, so she is not here tonight. But she's on the call here, so that's nice. Hello, Bessie. I miss you. Come home. So that's pretty cool. But I feel like I'm spying if I don't participate. You know what, buddy? There were plenty of folks that were on the call that said very little. They just hung out and they painted and they just listened. It's okay. Honestly, it's not a big deal. I probably do enough talking for everybody. So don't feel like you have to I feel like you have to have a camera going. Uh, yeah, if you had a mic on, if you have a mic, then you could still, jibber jabber. You don't have to have a camera going. So I'll show you some of the stuff that I'm doing. So tonight's call, it's not going to be more, or tonight's video is not going to be more than about 30 minutes or so, quite possibly less than that. As I talk about some of the vehicles that I've been painting. So earlier today, about 3 o'clock or so, I did a video showing you some airplanes that we were working on. So here is the airplane that Jerry got put together today. Isn't that nice? Isn't that nice? Now, of course, it's a work in progress. So, but very much to our theme. It's a two-seat airplane. It's got the fixed landing gear. It's got the bi-wing, biplane. Really, really cool. And this is it. I don't know if I can. I probably can't get it far enough back for it to show up on this camera. Maybe if I put it up on the Cooner Beans stand. Courtesy of Cooner Beans, we do have the Cooner Beans camera stand this evening. So that's what I'm working on, or Jerry was working on today. Pretty much done with it. I think at this point we'll call that one done for his part, and then I have to take it over and do some painting on it. So I really aim for the early 1930s is really my sweet spot. Maybe late 20s, also works, obviously. But that's what I aim for when I'm trying to find these planes. And sometimes it's more about whether or not they look right rather than whether they are. Like I showed you guys this Colt today, and I don't know how many of you saw it, so I don't mind jibber jabbering about it again. But here's this Russian airplane, this Colt. Now, originally it was designed before World War II, but they wouldn't let him make it. The government would not give him clearance to actually make the plane until I think it was around 46, and it didn't fly until about 47. So, because it's fixed landing gear, biplane. It's almost out of time by the time 1947 rolls around. But this plane is really phenomenal. If you go in and you know anything about them, it's a pretty phenomenal plane. Has an amazingly low airspeed that it can travel at and remain aloft. So it's really pretty cool. Still in use today. Cool plane. Cool plane. So anyway, that's the plane because it just looks like a 1930s plane. I still use it for my 1930s games, and the serials weren't particularly, historically accurate or even Hollywood, when it comes to that sort of stuff. So I don't really care, it's close enough for my purposes, my artistic interpretation. So some other stuff that I'm working on are these. Let me get it off my Cooner Beans camera stand. Some other stuff that I'm working on. Let me see if there's any chatter going on. There's some people saying hi to Bessie. Yeah. I wonder if this is all the chat or I feel like I don't know if I'm seeing all the chat or if it's just, anyway. Some of it. I think I'm seeing more of it than I saw on my tablet anyway. So here's one of these Tamiya 148 scale Tamiya. This is a Russian vehicle from the late 1930s, 40s. Great looking vehicle. I definitely love using these in my scenarios because it really, really does fit in. I was working on it today a little bit. I wanted to lighten the canopy a little bit because it's more of a cloth. It's not a hard canopy up there. It's more of a cloth, and I wanted to lighten that so it looked a little bit. I felt like it was blending in with the rest of the vehicle a little too much, so I kind of lightened that up. What do you guys think? I love this. I have two of these. And this, I have one that was painted more of like a gray color, and I actually painted both of them gray, and then I went back and changed the color on this one because I wanted to use it for my Manchukuo campaign. So really cool. And then I have this tanker that I'm working on. Check this out. Check this out. How cool is that? How cool is that, boys and girls? And this is a unimodel. This is a unimodel vehicle here. It is not an Ace, but they're not much better for sure. If you're familiar with the Ace models, you know they are a pain in the butt to try and put together, boys and girls. So do not get these models thinking you're going to be having a good time. I hate putting these models together. I hate them, but I love having them. I wish there were better models quality wise for as far as putting them together. But man, when they are put together, absolutely love them. So this is what I still have a little more to do. I need to do my windshields, the glass, some of the silver I'll be doing. This hose back here I'll be doing. So it's a little refueling vehicle. And I could use this in a lot of places too. I could use this in an urban setting. And I really wanted to get it painted up for the final flight scenario because a perfect airplane for a refueling airplane, or a perfect little vehicle for refueling airplanes. How cool would that be? Right? So yeah, that's pretty cool. So I'd like to get that done up. I have a couple more of these sedans that I'm working on. So that's what I call the chassis and then the body. So I got another black one that I'm working on, nearly finished. I'll go in and put the glass in. I don't attach the body until fairly late because I have to leave it open so I can go in and attach the glass. So I don't attach the glass, if I can, until fairly late in the process, and then I don't have to worry about getting paint all over it. So that's pretty cool. This is an Ace kit. This is Ace, and these are models that I love to hate right here. These are frequently called the worst kits ever. And again, do not get these thinking that they're easy to put together. They are a pain to put together, but I absolutely love having them. Now, these are initially Russian staff cars from World War II, but they are designed. They were licensed from the Ford Motor Company, so they are actually 1930s era Fords. So absolutely perfect for my scenarios. So I love having these. So I have a gray one and a black one that I'm working on. Let's see what else. Then I have this another cargo vehicle here. So I'll have this put together pretty quickly, and it has a extra little. I can either put that on there or off, and I'm not happy with the how dark this is. I'm going to try to lighten it up a little bit more and see if I can make that a little bit lighter. But I still have a little, the windows, and doing some silver and some black and just stuff like that on it to finish it out. Let's see. I got this tent. This is a 1/48 scale tent that I got out of some model kit. So you can see it's kind of glossy right now, but it still needs to be, I still need to go back and do my dry brushing on it. And it was a Tamiya kit. This came out of a Tamiya kit, I think for Africa Corps, a 1/48 scale with some jerry cans and some oil drums and stuff like that. So really cool little piece there. Let me show you what else I got. I want to show you you want to see my fire engine? You want to see my red fire engine? I'll show you. Give me just a minute. I got to go find it. So this is another one that I want to get. This is another one that I wanted to get ready for the scenario this Sunday. How many of you do that? How many of you paint specifically for what you have to get painted for this weekend or for your next game? That tends to be the type of thing we do, huh? So here is this red fire engine. Check out this beauty, boys and girls. Look how beautiful this is. This is another unimodel. This is another unimodel kit, which of course means it was a pain to put together. Very frustrating, but look at that. Oh, look at me throw it. Look at that. Look at all the coolness. Boy, I wanted to get this painted up in time to use for this Sunday. I don't know that it's going to happen, and then it comes with this little part here. I can't quite get that. Something like that. Something like that. You see that? And then the ladders. And I'm not exactly sure. I don't remember exactly how the ladders go on there, but I think, something up here. Not quite like that. And then there's this thing, which is like the hose. And this hooks on back here somewhere like this. So you have this drum back here where you roll out the hose. And you have your ladders up there. Very cool. Very cool. Over here on this side, you can't really see it, but there is a bell right here too. More hoses up here. Really cool. Fun little kit. And, something like that would be a lot of fun for an airport scenario, right? That would be fun to have sitting around out at an airport. Makes people feel, safe to know that there's a emergency vehicle standing by. All right. Let me see what chatter we have. All the time. Guilty. Same. Yeah. Yes. Slows my games down terribly trying to get stuff painted up for it. Yes, absolutely. I think it's not Egon, Danish artist. Sorry, I can't remember exactly your name, but Danish artist says fire truck would work for Vice Alley game. Absolutely. And most of these I would use in a Vice Alley game as too. I would put the fire truck in a Vice Alley game. I would put this refueler, right? You have a refueler on the streets of Vice Alley going down to the local gas station to fill them up. These cargo trucks, perfect for Vice Alley for, carrying contraband and smuggled goods and yada, yada around. So I think every single vehicle that I have sitting here, and that's an important thing for me, is that I want to be able to use my vehicles often. So I would put these vehicles in a Vice Alley setting. I would put them in Venezuela. I would put them in the Mediterranean. I would put them in Africa. I would put them in Manchukuo. So there's very few places that I would not put all of these vehicles. Really don't look for vehicles that have a single purpose. These are getting close. The fire engine and the refueler. Maybe they have very specific functions, but excuse me. But you could still have them in the background of a scenario, and they don't have to be the main focus point of the scenario. How are we doing on time? 15 minutes. Let's try and get a little bit of painting done. Hey, I wanted to ask you guys this. Who out there has one of those vortex shakers spinners? And do you know what I'm talking about? It's some sort of little paint shaker thing, relatively small by the looks of it, about so big or so that you like push the little paint bottles down and it spins them and shakes them and things like that. Tell me, let's see. So Marty Devine says he has one. Do you use it, and is it worth it? So that's what I need to know. Talamika says no, he does not have one. Joe Little says, I know what you're talking about, but I do not have one. Do you want one? I don't know. I almost ordered one today because Bessie wasn't here to stop me, but I didn't order it. But I may still order it before the night is out. Shh, don't tell Bessie. Marty Devine, yes, for the AP paints. I don't know what an AP paint is. What does that mean? Yes, for the AP paints. I have two called hands. Oh, really? Get a lot of practice with that, do you? There's a vortex in my garage, but it's not for paint. Okay. Army painter. Okay. Army painters, the AP. Man, you cool kids and all your abbreviations. I can't keep up with your hips, your hep slangs, your jargons. Let's see here. A vortex in my garage, but it's not for paint. Is it some sort of like mystical vortex to another portal or to another plane of existence? Because if it's in your garage, you might want to have that boarded up. I'm just saying. I want to get this tanker done. It really works well in getting Army Painter paints mixed well. Exactly. Oh, okay. I use it for some contrast paints, Marty says. So nobody else has one, or is a couple people said they were aware of what I was talking about, but I just put copper BBs in the bottle to mix it up. Ptolemycus, you wild man, you primitive, you savage, you. Ptolemycus is a savage, I tell you. Putting BBs in your paint like a barbarian. You know, the thing is, they actually like sell those now. I see paint companies selling BBs to put in their paint. So, yeah, that's a thing now. It's a thing. Dug the copper from the mines with his bare hands. You know, there's a lot of copper there in Pennsylvania. A lot of copper. I don't really know what I'm doing here. I'm just kind of. I really want to just get some contrast on here so that it's not all so monochromatic. Be careful with copper. It might react with the paint. Oh, it could turn it coppery. It could react with the paint and could create an explosion. So be careful. It could blow. I guess I'm going to do this all silvery up here. Just because I'm doing it silvery now. I think it'll give it a little bit of zazz, a little bit of bazinga, a little bit of zhuzh to put some silvery silver up here. I wish I had a little bit bigger brush for this. Oh well. I don't care. So I had to wear my glasses tonight because I can't actually see what I'm doing otherwise. Can't really hold that because then you guys can't see what I'm doing either. So just kind of splashing some paint on here. I think these might be fire extinguishers over here. So I'm going to kind of paint them up. I'm going to put some silver on them. And then I'm going to put some red on them. And kind of pretend that they are fire extinguishers. I can't quite see that without picking it up. And now you guys can't see what I'm doing. So I'll just switch cameras again. Well, I tell you what, I can't hardly stop my... You can't hardly stop my right arm from shaking anymore. Makes it really hard to do this, but luckily I don't really care where the paint lands. As long as it's close, that's good enough for me. What do you think about the fenders? I don't think I want to do the fenders. I'm gonna leave the fenders the way they are. I don't think I'm gonna do anything with those. Let's see here. I'm gonna put red on the fire extinguisher. Okay, so that's all the silver I really need there. What do you think? It gets me a little zhuzh, kind of breaks up that pattern a little bit. What do you think? So what vehicles have you guys worked on? What, let's see, small ball bearings. I was considering buying one myself. My wrist doesn't like all the shaking of the paint bottles. Yeah. And I was finding them for around $50, and that's not a lot, but it's not a little either. So, you know, um, I don't, I, it's still, I just kind of have to justify it, I guess. I built a reactor from a bottle of Vallejo bronze just once. Uh-oh. The vortex shaker is absolutely not necessary, but it does make it a bit easier on the harder to mix paints. Yeah. Well, yeah, I would definitely say they're not necessary. I've been painting for 40 odd years and haven't ever used one. So I wouldn't, I would definitely put it in the not necessary category. I guess the question is, how big of a help is it? And you say that it does help with the harder to mix stuff. I don't know. Let's see. I'm putting together an airport for the Bangala campaign. Very cool. Just so far, a few cars. Hoping some 3D designer takes pity on me. Repeated suggestions. Huh. Okay. It's around the corner for you to leave, Bessie. Yeah. Leave him unattended. Yeah. Well. Yes. Final flight setup for one of the scenarios. Okay, very cool. Let's see who's playing this Sunday. It is Vern and Michael playing this Saturday. I'm sorry, this Sunday at 10 a.m. live. If you're not aware of our live games that we do, you got to join us live 10 a.m. See a real game being played real time. There's no editing. There's no flashy camera work or anything like that. It is raw, and sometimes I'm not even wearing pants. So you'll just have to take my word for that. Raw and unedited, a real game from beginning to end, and almost always come in under an hour and a half. Pulp Alley is a fast and furious game. It is so much faster than a lot of skirmish games because we really handle things a little more realistically, I think. So you guys tell me what you think. That's okay, Dave. I'm not wearing pants either. Good on you, Marty. Let's take a poll right now. Quick little poll. Pants or no pants? I need a response, please, from each of you. Pants or no pants? Let's see. I want to paint my hose. What color should I paint my hose, boys and girls? Only, let's see, one leg only. Okay. Wearing two pairs. Good, Alan. I appreciate your commitment to the cause. No pants for Sunday game. It's a tradition. Pants are optional. Yes, they are, Scott. Pants are absolutely optional. Pants. It is colder here in Canada. That's all right. Wait, Robert, are you really in Canada? Or is it South Canada? Simon Morley. Ah, Simon Morley's in a kilt. All right, definitely not pants then. Who else do we have out there in a kilt? Do we have Jim Stute? Jim Stute is the kilt wearing fella from way back. I think I'm gonna go with this. This whatever this color here is. Whatever this color is. I think that's what I'm gonna use. My fear is that it's still gonna be too. It's still gonna blend in too much. I don't know. What freaking color do you do the hose? Should it be black? Maybe the hose should be black. I don't know. I don't know that I'm liking this. This kind of creamy color. Because I was thinking, those old fire hoses and stuff like those woven fire hoses were almost like a linen color. I don't think I'm digging that. I don't know. You guys tell me what you're thinking on this one here. Is that the hose color, or should I go with black? Canvas, like canvas. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. No, Marty Devine says black. Dave, have you tried to look for on sale die-cast vehicles? Absolutely. Yeah. Of course I do. And I have a fair number of die-cast vehicles. I have a fair number of die-cast vehicles, Danish artist. I wish I could remember who that is. I'll show you some of them. And I use them regularly. I use some die-cast vehicles regularly. I'll show you some of them that I use because they're pretty handy. I'm not sure about that hose. I'm not sure on that. So one thing I like are these. I use these religiously. You'll find these in a bunch of my games. And the reason is because vehicles like this are almost scale agnostic. You can look at these and they could be so many different scales. And the reason is because trucks like this came in so many different sizes. So you could easily, these were actually intended to be 1/43rd scale and to be pickup sized vehicles, but because they look so big, because they're 1/43rd scale, they're more like closer to a 1.5 ton or a 2-ton truck or something like that. Both of these, and this little lorry works really nice because this little lorry here works really nice because it was a relatively small vehicle, much smaller, but because in 1/43rd scale, it kind of scales to pretty nice when you put it next to a 28 millimeter figure. In general, I don't really care for. It's such a matter of taste, buddy. It really is. In general, when it comes to cars, I really aim for 148 to 150. That's my sweet spot. That's what I like. And that's what my eye looks at and says, I like that. If I put die-cast cars out there, they just feel too big to me, and that's why I don't use like just a sedan or a coupe or something like that out there. And I have a bunch of them, and I scanned the interwebs for good sales to find them, but I have a bunch of them. I just don't use them. I just don't use them. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't, right? It's all personal taste and what looks right to your eye, and doesn't matter on my opinion. But anyway, uh, Black Templar would look good. What are you talking about, Black Templar? I think black would look better in contrast. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Well, see, that's what I was thinking was like a canvas color on that hose, but I'm not thinking that looks. I don't know. Maybe after I put a wash on it, it would. I don't know. I'm thinking I might go with a black rubber hose. Collecting 1970s die cast to go with my geezer. Very cool. Very cool. Black Templar is a contrast paint. Okay. Well, I don't have that. I don't have anything called Black Templar in my box of boxiness. I do have a handful of contrast paints, but I don't think I have one that's called Black Templar. Um, I might use like a really dark. I don't know now. Okay. Well, hey, you know what, guys? It is over our time. It's 8:32. So I guess I'm going to call it here. Thank you so much for everybody jumping on here. Let's see which will become Pulp Alley leagues, of course. Oh, very cool. Very cool for your 1970s game. I like that. Diecasts tend to be all over the place when it comes to scale. I got some nice motorcycles with sidecar, but I haven't been able to find good diecast cars that isn't Roadster. Yeah. You know what? The other thing that I try to avoid, and again, this is me personally, I try to avoid ghost driven vehicles. What I mean by that, it bugs me when I look at a vehicle that should have a driver, but there isn't a driver there. And that's why you'll notice that I always black out my windshields when I can. When I can. I don't want anyone to see inside there. So when the vehicle is being driven, it's being driven. When it's just sitting there, it's just sitting there, and I just kind of do it that way, be to save my brain a little bit. It's one of my OCD moments, I guess. So what that means is that I really don't like to use very many convertibles unless I have figures that I could actually stick in there. That kind of bugs me. I don't know. It's goofy. It's one of those goofy things. It's just a Dave thing. So don't let that stop you. Um, so I almost always get vehicles that are completely enclosed so that I don't have to know that there's not actually anybody in there. Oh, have pity on my poor soul. Everybody, thank you so much for jumping on here today. Let's see. Do not miss our game on Sunday, the final flight. This is the first game, and this was their first campaign, second scenario, first introduction of the red herring cards. And boy, oh boy, can they really turn a game upside down. You draw that red herring and no telling what's going to happen then. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Sunday, 10 a.m. Thank you guys so much for all your support. I really, really do appreciate you. We'll talk to you soon. Bye, everybody. Cue the music and roll the credits. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun.